So we are just today we'll see how these are difference between CLI and the Ansible Tower, which is the graphical user interface of Ansible. And most of the companies they are using both the Ansible Tower very frequently because that will be easy to use and it's very user friendly. Because anyway, whatever you are going to do, you have to write the playbook in the backend, right? So after the playbook is written, then the configurations and setup need to be done in the graphical user interface, which is very easy to do that, and it will be convenient, like to just in one click, all your configuration management as well as the deployment will be done. Okay, in one click. But before that click, we need the playbook to be written. So that's what we are learning, how to write the playbook based on your requirement. Settings and using graphical user events, anyone can do, right? If you are trained on that, or you do once or twice, you can just go ahead and do the setups. But writing the playbooks and configurations is very important. Okay, so today we'll see about last class what we covered. Okay, so we saw about the ginger templating and looping, right? Wait for with items and looping, how we can loop multiple items if you want to do configuration like installations before you do deployment. How we can do put loops into that and execute the playbook so that it will then install or delete multiple items, right? So also we saw different modules like copy and all those modules we saw. And today we'll discuss about handler, service, notify. Okay, wait for, register, all these modules we'll discuss. Already also we discussed about package underscore facts and all, right? So these things we'll cover today. Let's see how we can doing the setups for that. Okay, one second. Let me share my screen and okay. So cd etc Ansible. Okay. So this Ansible configuration file, right? CFG file. This is the configuration file already you know, and this host we have created the inventory files. Okay. Also, we'll discuss about the Ansible Galaxy, which is also very important. How to create roles and reuse the codes and minimize the task and also by using the roles and all, right? So we'll see what is Ansible Galaxy, what is the use of that. Today we'll also discuss on that. So let's discuss about more on this. So our project will be, I think, like, so last class what we saw about this installations of Java and deploy a small project, right? So this entire project we already have seen, and we saw different modules like EM modules. You know how to use these modules by checking the documentations and all, right? So those things you know very well how we can do that. So we saw about different modules: user, become, get URL, okay, file modules, file, copy, all these we saw already. So today let's do a small project by setting up all different modules. Okay, one second. Okay, so let's discuss about this register. What is the use of the register first, and how we can use the register. Okay, so you would have in any of the programming or any scripting, whenever you are using, right, you would have seen like we are assigning some variables, right? Assigning some variables like the values to a variable, and then you are using that one. Any kind of output if you want to store in a variable, and how we can assign that. Similarly, what we are doing it here by using this register module, right? Register keyword, we are just assigning, creating a variable kind of thing, test underscore count. If you see here, what I'm doing here, just going to, by using the cell module, I'm just doing a cat to the test file. Okay, after that, what I'm going to do here, the result of this cat command getting registered over this variable test underscore count. Okay, and then what I'm next I'm doing here, using the cell module again, I'm just using the when statements. I'm just checking if this variable, okay, if this variable and the value inside that is having hello, it will just say the print that one. What it will do, it will just say if it finds this one, then contains the word hello, this message will be print. Okay, so let's see, so in this one program we will see both like register and when. Okay, so let me just do another one instead of that I'll show you what we can do more on that. So there actually Jitu was asking in the last class, right, last to last class, uh, based on the operating systems, how we can execute the different tasks. Okay, so that time I had told, when we covered this statements and conditions, that time we discuss about that. So here, if you see here, I have a task. What it does actually, it checks for the OS family, right? If the server matches Ubuntu, then it will display the system informations. Okay, so let me just copy this part of code, and we'll see how this when statement works, and then we'll discuss about the register. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me create one YAML file. It's called as like when register dot YAML. So here, what I'm going to do here, I have to change the host, the the grouping, as we are using the grouping mechanism, right? I have to use as web servers, right? So web server, what it will do, it will just connect the web server, check for the waste family. So how it will get the waste family? So when we'll just use Ansible underscore facts. So we have multiple facts to get it, right? Ansible underscore fact, package underscore facts. That means, so it will, if we do the package underscore fact, what it will do, it will just check for all the packages installed and available on the operating system on the server, then it will display over here. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm just checking for the Ansible facts. So let's see what this Ansible facts actually um, does it. So we'll get more details about this Ansible fact. Okay, where is this Ansible? Then you know how to use these documentations. Okay, so just go for here and search the documents here, like Ansible, sorry, package underscore facts, Ansible related this, gather facts. Let's go for this. Okay, so here, as I was telling, right, the Ansible built-in. These are the built-in modules, right? Package underscore facts. So here what I will do here with this module is part of Ansible core and includes all the Ansible installations. Okay, so the package facts, what it does, it gets the uh, package informations. So all the informations it will collect as a collection. Okay, so then it will display on the screen, and then you can use using conditions and loop and all this you can find it out. You can just filter it out, right? So to use this package underscore facts, what is the requirement, the parameters we need to use, like the manager, the strategy, right? What is this manager is nothing, the package manager, okay, used by the system. So we can query for package informations like RPM package, APT, right? APK, all this, and all the informations and the examples is given here. Okay. So similarly, let's check for Ansible underscore facts. So here you can see the Ansible underscore facts dot packages. Okay. So let's run this program, Ansible underscore fact, if OS family, right? You can find it over here also. 1 second. Okay. So if you see here, basic conditionals with when, and you'll find the conditional based on the Ansible underscore facts. Okay. So let's check this one, how it looks like Ansible fact based on the uh, based on the conditions. Okay, when conditions we are going to use it. So here you can see here, same task what we are going to do. So Ansible underscore facts, if distribution is CentOS and check for the major versions is 6, then shut down the system. Okay, so sometimes what happen, you'll be thinking like when we need this to check the servers. Like whenever you have suppose multiple servers, but those servers are different flavors. Okay, suppose you have two servers Ubuntu, three servers CentOS, and four servers Red Hat and Fedora, something there, or Windows. So for that, what you have to do, you have to check for the fact if the server is Ubuntu, execute this particular task, because all the flavors, all the servers have different package manager. Like for CentOS we are using yum, so if you use yum package manager for Ubuntu, it will not work, right? So that time we have to write the conditions to execute on the right servers. Suppose you are using some installing some Windows packages, you need the Windows server to be installed, right? So that time you have to check the package informations or server informations prior to deployment or prior to configuration management. Okay, so here let's save this one and just try to execute. Let's see what is happening. Okay, and before that, remember I need to change my IP address, right? So the inventory had changed now because the server I restarted and we got another IP. So let me just get this server. Okay, it will be cd ansible. Okay, so we can now do a ping to check the server whether it is working or not. So what is the command? Ansible hyphen n ping keep web servers. Yeah, so it is now pinged successfully. So our server, remember guys, in real time also, whenever you are, so in your company you are not only going to write only the playbook, sometimes you are going to do the setups. Okay, so when you are doing two setups, if you have a new server, remember, if you have a new server to do the configurations, prior to execute the playbooks, you always have to do a ping test. Okay? That's called ping test. Whether you are using Ansible Tower or command line CLI, you must have to do a ping test to make sure that server which you are going to do the configuration management and deployment, it's connected. Okay, and the connectivity between the node machine and your Ansible master is there. So now what I'm going to do, we pinged the server successfully. Now what I'm going to do, just execute the, okay, so it is, I think, okay, Ansible hyphen playbook. Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so what it says, like uh, task is show the system def if it is Ubuntu machine. So what happened? The condition result was false. That's why it skipped the command. So what was the command we had used? See what happened. Uh, our is if it is satisfied. If the condition is satisfied, the condition we had given as Ubuntu, then execute this command. Okay, so how you have to write the conditions, whatever the commands you want to execute, that should be written in the task prior to the condition in the task. So whatever is given is prior to the when conditions. Okay, so now what it does is checks the os family of the server where we are going to, where we are connected, right? The server whatever we have prepared. So our server is not Ubuntu, our server is that is Amazon Linux, right? So what is the OS family of Amazon Linux? Let's Google it. OS family Amazon Linux. Okay. So Amazon and Linux distribution is what? Linux distribution of Amazon and Linux. It is kind system representatives. So it is Amazon Linux 2. It will be Amazon Linux 2. Okay. So let's do that. Copy this, and I have to just modify, instead of Ubuntu, I'm just going to modify this and add it the Amazon Linux 2. Where Amazon Linux 2. Let's check this one. Okay, so it is not what. Okay, let's do that. Hmm. Okay, what it says, Amazon Linux is based on CentOS. Okay, so let's see the OS family attached CentOS, whether it is working or not.
That is capital O.
Hmm, that should be, yeah, no, capital
Hmm.
O did not work. Let's see. No,
Mhm.
so it is not working. So what is this OS family?
Google itself.
Sorry, I don't.
Cent OS, it's O caps and S also caps. That one
That is, yes, let's try that one
could you
also.
try? Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
Mhm.
So instead of this OS family, let's add as distribution as CentOS. Let's see.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, so it's not working. Let me check any other server is there.
Yeah.
Maybe OS family is Red Hat, Red Hat Linux.
So Amazon Linux, you mean to say Linux distribution? Mhm. Okay, so let's do another thing. We'll try last just changing the OS family to uh, Red Hat and check whether it is working or not. Then we'll move on to the other part. Yes. So the Red Hat family. Okay, the Amazon Linux is Red Hat. Okay. So if you can see here, so it just displayed the date. Okay, what's the time today? We had just given a command to execute the
Dead.
date command. So what we can do instead of this command, right? What suppose I want to execute a shell script. Okay, I want to execute a shell script on that server. Okay, so first let me just okay, okay, guys. I'm just giving a requirement now. You tell me what I have to do. Okay. Okay. My requirement is to copy one shell script to the machine and then execute it. What I have to do, which module I have to use. So this is a requirement. Try to understand. I need to copy a shell script from this machine and execute it on the machine where I want to keep it. So how,
Copy.
yeah, how I want to, first I just want to copy and then execute it on the server. So what we have to do,
We can use a copy module
okay,
from source to destination.
that's good. Let me write it down. Yes. So I have to use copy module. Then we have to keep this copy. Then how to write this copy module? Just go for this and check for the copy module, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So you know very well how to use this copy module, and then you have to first give the source and destination, right? So what attributes or what parameters you should, what is mandatory parameters you should pass? First thing is source, the path, local path to a file to copy to the remote server. So I have to give the local path where the file is there. So let me just write it down here. Source, okay, equal to, suppose I'll keep this, one second, okay, I'll keep it in home CentOS, okay, and then the destination, right? So what do you have to do then for destination? So what is the parameter for destination? It should be dest, right? So what is that? Yeah, destination path required. Source is a directory. This must be a directory too. So destination is the destination path where we want to copy the file. Okay, so let's go that I can just use. So you can see here copy and destination. So you have to give the destination equal to, suppose that will be uh, from the temp folder, okay, or opt folder. Under opt folder I want to execute it, okay, I want to copy to the opt folder of the server. So what I have to copy, I have to copy a shell script, okay, suppose test.sh. This is a small shell script. I am just going to copy it to this destination of the remote server. Okay, now I just copied. Then what will be our next step?
Execute that script.
Exactly, to execute that script. So what will be the module to use to execute it? So we can use either command, right, command module to execute commands on the target, or we can use the shell module also, okay. So see, shell, execute shell commands on the target, execute shell commands on the targets. The same thing also the command module does. What this command module does, it also executes the commands on the target. So let's use the shell module to execute the shell script, okay. Just use the cell module and check the parameters, and just what are the required parameters for that. You can do like command and all this, but we, if you want to check, you can check the examples, and you can find it out how we can see Ansible built-in dot cell, then execute the shell script. Okay, so we can use this module. Either you can use only cell, as I told in our last class, you can use either only cell, or you can use the Ansible built-in dot cell. Okay, so here also Ansible built-in dot copy you can use, sorry, command you can use. Okay, so let me just do that. Copy, then what I'm going to do, execute it. Sorry, cell, then just execute the shell script. So script will be under opt and test.sh. Okay, so this is the requirement, and we wrote our requirement. So we just copied, before executing the script we need to copy that one to the destination, to the remote server, and then execute that on the server. Okay, so what I'm going to do here now, let me just create a small shell script and home CentOS, right? Let me create one small script, test.sh. So I can just do a small print statement. Okay, so before executing anything, we need to change the permission. Okay, so let me give all full permissions to this file. Executable permissions is must before executing any shell script. So let's check whether it is working locally. Yes, it is locally. Now, what I'm going to do, I want to execute this on the server, right? On the remote server. Okay, so
Remote
let's do that. So modify a little bit to the file. I can just do one command execute enum hyphen a. Okay, to check the server details. Or what I can do here, let's instead of enum hyphen a, let's make sure check the host. So I can just give host name. Okay, so let's execute it and check. So this is the local host name server. Now execute the playbook. Ansible playbook. Oh, okay. So what happened here, guys? See, we cannot give multiple items under one task. Okay. So what we have to do, we have to just change this one to give the multiple. So how you will find it out? So if you check the when conditions, right? Here, if you go to the conditionals, you can see here, either you have to give only one, finding it out, see register, you have to check every where whenever you find in every when statement we have only one command to execute. Okay, so let me comment out the other task. This is not possible. So sorry, not this one. We have to just, no, we don't need when, right? Okay, so now we'll execute all this.
Ranjit, instead of uncommenting, we can use another task, right? Two tasks we can mention. One
Yeah,
task is for name of the.
yes, we can do multiple tasks, but for this example, I don't need this one, so that I just commented it. Okay, so we can create multiple tasks and you can keep that's nice, Venkat. So, guys, if you want to execute, see, for our case, it is not necessary. We are just because we are not doing demo for when we are doing the demo for the requirement, we are going to execute the shell script by using the shell module, right? So, whenever you need to use the multiple tasks, then you have to write a different tasks to be executed. In that case, we can write the three tasks which can be executed. Okay, so now what up, something I missed it here, maybe. Sorry, when register. I think this is something tab is given there. Okay, that's a question for you guys. Why it is not working? So Venkat, I think you can answer this one. Why it's not
Maybe
working, guys?
multiple commands are running, maybe copy and sell.
Exactly.
Is that
So we have to, as Venkat told, right? We have to add multiple tasks here. So we can
yeah?
either
We
use
have to create
multiple.
another tag where we can put the other sell
Exactly. So
command.
we have to create multiple tasks here. Same three commands we cannot execute on the same task. So that will be not the purpose of Ansible. So what we have to use here in this, just simple change it to multiple tasks. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here, let do a command here. I'll just create another task. It's called name.
Ranjit, it means
Yeah,
for the first hyphen name, so system date, it can work only for to be for that command date only.
date
So
only.
yeah, to be copy the one means another task you are going to be execute means no, we have to be use the same multiple times hyphen name. That can be segregate or divide a multiple task, right?
Exactly. So that will be that will be used multiple tasks. So whenever you are going to execute, right? So last class, what we had done, we had installed one Java. Okay. So if you can see here, what we had used multiple tasks, one to download and then install, right? If you see the program, what we done, right? Java and Tomcat. No, I think we did Java and Tomcat, right? So you can see in this here, for each task, every module you are going to execute, that will be under one task, and you should have written in one task. And that, see, the tasks is given task, so multiple tasks you have to create, give one after another, and you cannot execute multiple modules, multiple commands on the same task. So here, see, this is a list. Remember, guys, there is a question also come. The tags been kept as a list. So in Python, if you have some knowledge on Python, list is nothing but an array. Okay, array. If you see associative array and all these tasks will be kept as an array or as a list. Okay. So here, how many lists are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 tasks are there. So all are kept in as a list. So in our case, what we had done, all these modules, all these commands we had kept in one task, one list. So that is actually, that's why it was breaking. It was not able to work, and it was throwing error from the task itself. Okay. So Ranjit, is it clear, or what you are?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
it's clear.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah, it's clear. Yeah.
Okay. So let's do that. Execute script. Okay. Now let's do that. Okay, now it's working. So what it's doing, it first gave the system, and what it says, the first it is executed, the second was task copy cell. So what it did, it is successfully copied. Okay, it is successfully copied the file, but it not able to execute it. What it says, permission denied. Okay, it is not able to execute. So let's see what permission we need to execute this script. Okay, now let me log into the server and check whether it is copied successfully or not, and then we'll see what permission it is having to execute that one. So let me just quickly log into the server. So if we go to cd opt, we'll have our, okay, so test.ssh is copied. See, the test.sh copied, but you can see here we when we copied the file, right? When we copied the file, we have no permissions to execute. So it just created as a simple read file, okay, in simple text file, but it is not executable. In our case, if you see this file, we had given full permission to execute it, but while copying that one, it changed the permission. So how we can interact these permissions? So let's go to the copy module. Let's go to the copy module to check how we can keep the permissions intact. Okay,
Permission.
so let's go to copy module. Okay, and here you can see the parameters. So directory following when to set the mode. Okay, see the permissions of the destination file or directory. For this, what is happens, for those use chmod, remember that modes are actually octal numbers. Okay, fine. So this is user source path unsafe writes validate. Okay, bypass check mode. Check mode. Okay, so when we are copying, see what happens here. We are giving the mode, change the mode. Okay, so we have to pass this mode parameter. We have to pass this mode parameter to intact the permissions. Okay, so let's change this one. The copy, we can just give mode. Okay, and we need the mode should be like 755. Okay, 755. Let's keep the mode as 755. See, you can find it out. Also, see, I did a mistake. Like it should be with single quote. It should be within the single quote. Okay, and if you so here it is given like, see, I know we can change the permissions in two ways. Like one is the octal mode, like octal ways. Another one is the by changing the groups by using user u g group and O, by this way also. Okay, so when you are copying and just changing the mode, make sure here you can see the example they have given in the single quote when they have given this digitals and the octal mode. Okay, so make sure that you are using the same format. So what we can do here, just use mode equal to. So why I am, see guys, if you see this method of writing the modules, you can see here it has, they have written modules like this, and then after that they have created another list or group where they have created source colon here, destination colon like this. But in my case, I have kept everything in the same line, right? In the same line, so that instead of colon, I have to give equal symbol. Remember these things, okay? Whenever you are writing the playbook, you have to write in this way. Either you can write in this way, or you can in the copy module below, in one you have to give one space, and then all these things you can write it down one after another in the group, okay? That time you have to pass colon here instead of equals,
Colon.
you have to pass colon, okay? So here I'm going to give the mode, okay? So suppose 0755, okay? Let's save it.
Is single code not required?
uh, let's do that, okay? It is see, I'm giving it as equal symbol. Mostly it will be not required, but let's check it. Yes, it is not required, okay? So if I have to give in the colon, maybe you need to give it that, as I gave in the same line and equal symbol, I just gave it as uh, see, again, it is octal value digits. Mostly, if you would have done any programming, you would have seen only the strings and characters used to provide either single quote or double quote. But mostly for digitals and numbers and octals, we don't need the single quote or double quote to be there, because if you put in the single quote and double quote, that will be treated as a string, that will be treated as a
String.
text, right? So in my case, I did not give it because I was wrote it in a single line, okay? But that will not, I think, see, whatever they have given, this will work. Even though you don't give single quote, it will also work, not a problem. Here also you can give single quote, it will work, okay? Now you can see here what we did. We just copy the file. See, try to understand the requirement. Based on the requirement, we are going to write the playbooks. The requirement we gave, like we have to copy the script and then execute it on the server, right? So once it is executed, so what is the output here? See, hello Ansible, and then it gave the host name, then it executed the host name. That is what we had given in our script, hello Ansible, and then host name. Okay, 1 second, I'm getting a call, guys. Okay, guys. So what we saw here, what about the scripts? Similarly, last class also we had done while installing, when we executed this, what happened? We had first installed Java, then Tomcat server, and using get_ur module, we downloaded the Tomcat server, and then executed by using command. We change some directory and then executed something, right? So these things we already have seen it, right? Now what I'm going to do it here, so in also last class we had seen the cell modules over here to execute a command on the remote server, okay? So let's see some different cases. Now we saw the when statement, right? When conditions, how we can use conditions using this one. Okay, so let's modify our script by adding the conditions. Okay, now let's change this script vi test sh. So what? Okay, not this one. So what I'll do, I'll just write the conditions over here. Okay. When, okay, so we have to write when the Ansible underscore facts, Ansible underscore facts, if the OS underscore family, okay, equal to, it was Red Hat, right? Okay, so if the Ansible, what I did, if the OS family is Red Hat, then execute this one. Okay, then I can write another task and give one more conditions here. Okay, I can just then I can write the conditions here. Okay, so in this way, okay, suppose you are going to do deployments and do some scripts to be executed. Not only the scripts, if you are going to install some package, if it is a Ubuntu machine, then you have to use, okay, let me do real installations. Okay, that will be a good device to do. So let us create one more server. Okay, I think I have one server. Let me create one more server, Ubuntu server. So these servers are, let's see what are these. Okay, these are Amazon Linux. Okay, this Ansible, CentOS. Okay, this is CentOS machine. Okay, good. Let me just start this machine. Okay. So we can do the real scenario once. Okay, we'll try to install something here. Okay, we got IP address. So let's add this one in the inventory first. Okay, let me just come out from here. So the inventory will be vi etc ansible and hosts, right? Yes. So here I'll add like one more server name, like app server uh, one. Okay, I'll give ansible underscore hosts equal to, okay, so just save it. Okay, so it will be what, okay, so before after adding, what we need to do, we need to do a ping test, so make sure that it is working perfectly, right? So we'll do quickly ansible hyphen m, then just add the server name. Sorry, ping, it was app server 01 01 or 1. Okay, so what happened here? It says like we are not able to connect, unreachable, right? If I do app server, it will connect because we already have done a ping test and it is one. But our new server, we are not able to connect. So what is the problem, guys? Why we are not able to connect?
RSA key we need to add it again.
Exactly. So the SSH
Yeah,
key,
yeah.
that RSA public key, need to add into the server. Okay, so let me do that quickly. So just see, guys, how I'm doing. Maybe if you are not familiar with that, you can just have a look again and try to do that. Okay, so I'm connecting to the server. Okay, so let's get the master. Go to the root first. Okay, cd root, and here it will be cd.ssh. In this folder, just get the RSA file, the public key, right? id underscore rsa.pov. Get the key. Okay. Go to the new server, this one. Go to the root.ssh. So here you'll find authorized key, right? Just open this authorized key. Then good. Sorry. Okay, fine. You can add either on the top or below, not a problem. Okay. Okay, I just added it here. Now let's execute the command again. Yes, okay. What happened? Okay. So it is doing the strict host key checking, right? So before that, let me just ping from this server, because this is the master server's details we added there, right? Let me do from here ssh root at the rate, sorry, ssh root. Okay, so connected. What is this? App server 1. Here, see the spelling mistake. It is not Ansible. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Answer.
It is Ansible, right? Okay. That is why it was not taking the host name. Fine. So it should work now. Good. So it is now successfully pinged the
Good.
server. Okay. So let's modify our script, what we are working on. Okay. So here what I'm going to do, the first thing is, let's, instead of using cell module, let me do the real thing is to using the yum package manager to install the git package. Okay, so let me delete this. I'll add what is the package, because that is the Amazon Linux, and Amazon Linux works on the yum package module manager, right? So I'll just give yum. Then what first thing is the name. You have to provide the name. So what is the name is git. So then state, right, equal to present. Okay, so if you don't remember all this parameter, you can just go for this yum module and check it out there, right? Just go to the yum module, yum, right? And here you can see the parameters over here, right? So what parameters, the mandatory parameters we need, first thing is the name. So name. So name a package name, which package you want to install, name of the package, and then state, present, install, all these, right? So same thing, I just wrote it here, yum, name equal to git, state, present. That means if it is Red Hat, OS family is Red Hat, then install git. Okay. Now same thing also I'm going to add it here. Just give us again, this is also CentOS, right? Same module manager. Okay, we should have create one Ubuntu to test it. Okay, fine, no problem. So same thing, we'll get it as name equal to git. Okay, and then state equal to present. Okay, just see how I'm doing it, right? So same ways you have to do it, and you have to do need more practice to do that. Okay, so now I'll just write it Ansible underscore facts. Okay, so let's quickly save it and execute that one. Ansible playbook. Okay, so what it did, uh, it executed the web server here, web servers, right? We had given two servers, app server 1 and app server. Okay, so the first task is to, if the system is okay, that is fine. So what happened, app server 1 also, it just printed the date, then one is the copy shell script, then both it also copied the shell script. uh, okay, task execute the script. If it is Amazon Linux, it is not able to do that. What happened, Ansible underscore facts was family equal to Red Hat. The conditional check error while evaluating the conditions. Okay, we have to give single quote over here, OS underscore family, right? OS underscore family, if you see here, we should have give the single quote. Where is that? Go to the when module. Okay, conditional over here. So it should have, The examples. Okay, you can see here we should have single quote to provide. Otherwise, that's why it is not working. Ansible underscore facts. It should be under the single quote. But in our case, we have just written it as that is why it is throwing the error. So syntax error. See, and also here appears to be like this. It's giving only one syntax. Maybe is okay. So let's change it. So when we give Ansible underscore facts, it should be under a single quote. Okay. That is how you have to do. Now save it. Okay. Execute the playbook. Okay. Now it is, see, it is now installing Git. So what it says, Git is already installed for the Amazon Linux. Okay. And it is now installing for the other one. So let's see. Wait for a few seconds and it will be installed.
Ranjit, small doubt, Ranjit.
Yeah, please tell me.
Yeah, in previous session, I think while installing Git, we have used Ansible built-in.git, but here we haven't not used any built-in like for copy command also we haven't used built-in.copy
Yeah,
and for Git.
that's why I told, right? You can use or you cannot use, right? So it's up to you if you can, if you want to use Ansible dot built dot built-in dot copy or Ansible dot built-in dot. See, the Git is not required. If you see it here, uh, the built-in. See, most of the time they're using this is the standard way of doing and writing the modules. See guys, this what I told, even though you don't write this one, it will work by default. By default, Ansible will understand this is actually all the built-in modules, right? All the built-in modules are either you can write in the same module name, or you can by using Ansible dot and Ansible dot built-in the package, you can write it there like that. Okay, if you don't write this one, the Ansible will understand by seeing the keyword that these are the reserved keyword, right? For Ansible, these are the keywords, and it will find, and it will find the modules, then it will treat that particular keyword as a module and work it. Okay, but when you are going to write in your program in your company, if you're writing a playbook, the best practice is to use Ansible dot built-in dot service. Okay, so let me modify in our case. Okay, here the Git is installed. See, here the Git is installed. Now what I'm going to do, so as Venkat, let us just use always suppose the built-in. See, Git, we cannot use the Git build. Git is not a built-in module. Git is a tool. It's a package, right? What we are going to install it, this is the package name. In the package name we cannot add Ansible dot built-in. Only Ansible dot built-in dot you have to add where the module name. In case, instead of, in case of copy, you can add it here. In case of yum, you can add it here. Okay, see, if you check it here, suppose the service module. Okay, and okay, here, see guys, you can, if you see the Ansible distribution details, right below, it has given everything conditionals. If you go down, it has given all the list of OS family. This is the distribution, and here list of OS family: AIX, Alpine, Debian, right? But Ubuntu it has not given. Okay, fine. CentOS also not given. There are few I think given. Sample, not complete list. Okay, they have given a sample here. This is look like this, and distributions also they have given here. Okay, okay. So Venkat, okay, let's come to you. So, so you understood, right? Where to add and where not to add.
Yes,
But mostly,
yes, yes, yes.
remember, guys, this is a standard practice This is the standard procedure whenever you're writing the playbook. Here, why I'm not writing, because to save time, right? If you write, it will take some time, right? See, whatever the commands I'm writing it here, it is working. The modules, so this copy module by itself, it is a built-in module of Ansible. So it's automatically taking the copy module and executing it. But whenever you're writing your playbooks in your company, it's better to write ansible.builtin.copy or ansible.builtin.cell. All this you can write it. Okay. So now here I'm just saving time. I'm just not writing it here because it will take some time to type and all, right? So okay. So here you can see if it is like the conditions, then let's little bit change something here. So as we know, this is the Saint Waste family. So what I'm going to do, I'll just make it as Windows. Let's execute it. Okay. So what happened here? Why it is execute script? Okay. Okay. So execute script if it is CentOS, right? So for both the servers, what it did, it just skipped it because we just gave us Windows instead of CentOS. We gave us Windows, right? So what are we going to do here? And but if you see here, the first task, right? Let me just open the cat wing. If you see the task of installing this execute. So what it did, if Ansible OS family is Red Hat, that means the OS family for both the servers is Red Hat. For CentOS is also Red Hat. That's why nobody noticed, right? See, it is actually checked both the servers. It is checked both the servers because both the servers OS family is Red Hat. Okay, that's why it checked for the Git packages and DD. But when the next step we gave a Windows, but it did not find anything and it is just skipped it. You know now how to weigh the conditions. Okay, how to use the conditions. Okay, now let's do that. Mm, change the host. Okay. So instead of web servers, let's use the alias here and use the alias called only app server. Okay, so Git is there and it is just skipping it. This one. Okay, fine. Now you understood how to use the conditions over the task, right? Which task you want to execute for this particular server. If this particular server falls on this, then you can execute it. Now let's discuss about the notify handler and the service module. Notify module, handler module, and service module. Okay, so if I go here and find it out these modules, what modules we are going to check? Notify handler, right? So we have one handler module here. Sorry, sorry, service module. Let's go to the service module. Notify and handler, not at the modules. Okay. but we can find it out here. Ansible built-in dot service. So what it does, it manages the services. It manages the services. So what kind of services manages? Means what are the services you would have seen, right? When we used to start one HTTPD server or any Tomcat server, right? Sometimes or any Jenkins server, we use systemctl, and then backend what it use service.d. That services, it uses the services to start the service of that particular application or software, right? So what it does, it manages the services. So these are the parameters and arguments whatever we want to pass it. So name is the name of the service, and state, start and stop. Like if you want to start a service or stop a service, you can use it. And sleep, what it has also one parameter as sleep. What it does, if the service is being restarted, then sleep this many seconds between the stop and start command. Sometimes what happens, before starting a service, suppose if you have written multiple tasks, the first task is to start the service and then execute the script. Okay, start the service and then execute the script. Sometimes what happen, starting the service, it will complete the task in playbook, but in the back end the server will take some seconds or some minutes to start the service fully. But what happens, the playbook, it will execute the next task. So for the next task is to run a script, and the script is dependent on that service which need to be started first. Okay, so in that case what will happen, the script will fail because the service is not running, though our playbook is completed, but still in the back end it is not fully started. In that case we can write a sleep statement in the services. One second, guys. Okay, so that time you can use sleep to sleep sometime before execute the next task. Okay, so this is how you have to use it. So let's see the handler and notify. Okay, so the notify, these are the community notify using. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see the code what we have written it here. Okay, so here if you can see here in this notify, what we have done here, we have retained this playbook as checking for web servers. The task install web server, we have given httpd and git by using the loop. Okay, so and then what happened, the service we have given, ensure the Apache 2 is stopped. After this installations, what we have written here, stop the service. Okay, and then what we are doing here, then we are just using the file module. Using the file module, we are just creating a link, creating a link, soft link of this file. Okay, this machine to the means it the once it is installed, right, the file will be under etc httpd and .config, but we are going to create a link of this destination file. Okay, now what I'm going to do it here, after this file is created, it will notify restart httpd. Notify, what it's doing, going to restart the httpd service. Okay, so when it provides, given the notification, that notification should be handled by the handlers. Remember, when you need to use notify, you must have to use handlers to handle the notifications. So when you use these notifications, what you have to do? You need to do the service start and stop. So either you can use directly the services without using notification and handler. The best way is to use the notify module, notify, and then use the handlers to handle the notifications. Sorry guys, lots of backend noise is coming. Okay, so here what we can do, what we have done after this copying, again creating the link, we gave a notifications to restart the service, and then here after the copy of this we added to start the service. Okay, so let me copy this and we'll see how we can execute it, and we'll minimize all these things. Okay, so just quickly create notify. Okay, so here I don't need this service to be stopped, because normally it okay, let me just okay, let it be there, but I don't need this notifications because I need both this file. Okay, anyway, again, what do we think? If we give more notifications here, will it restart multiple times? No. All these notifications will be stored under these handlers, and handler will start only once. Okay, the number of notifications sent to restart particular service. What we are going to restart? We are restarting this particular service. Okay, so let's check the service module and we'll see. Okay, service module, right? So here what happens here, this is the service one. Okay. So if you the service, if you check it here, what is happened here, uh, name and the state. Mostly we'll use the name and state. Uh, 1 second. Okay. So here, if you can see here, the service state restarted means restart the service, and service name is suppose HTTPD. Okay. Now what I'm going to do here, let first keep all the services and notifications in one go and then start it. Okay, so in this case I'm not going to use all the servers. Let me just use one server, that is called app server 1 or app server. I'm going to install the HTTPD server and git. Okay, and here instead of with items I'll use loop. Okay, because with items is outdated now, and this I'll use loop. Okay, now let's do that, save it. Ansible playbook. Okay, so for app server, it is first it is doing installing the web server. Good. So what it did, let's check this one. First thing what it did is already okay, HTTPD is already installed. Good. And it is stopped the server. After that it stopped the server. The next one is copy the things, right? And it is failed. Why it is failed? Because the file itself we have given to link, right? It is not available, right? So if you see this file, what we have given, create using the file model, we created a soft link, but in this folder we don't have a soft, sorry, the destination, right? So in this server, what will happen? We don't have the file available, so it is failed. So let me comment this step for now, then we'll execute it later. Let me just comment it. So Ansible playbook, you can comment using the hash symbol. Okay, this is the comment. Now, so let's do that again. Execute it. Okay, so again the copy, this one also failed. So let me just modify this. The copy virtual host config is failed because the index file is not available here. So instead of var, what I can do, I can just use, okay, because this bar HTML is not available in the master node. Okay, so instead what I can use, home centerwise. Okay, now let me quickly create small index.html file. Okay, so created this index. Let's execute the file again. Okay, now it copied the file. Okay, after copying, what happened? It restarted the server. See, it is changed. It restarted the server. So what happened here? If we see our code, right? What the play? If we see our playbook, what we did, we installed both Git and HTTPD server. After that, we stopped our services, so that what we can do, we can copy the, or we can deploy the file into the server, remote server. After that, what happens, it's notified to restart the service. So what happened, it restarted the service. So if we saw the logs here, what happened, it restarted, see, running handler. You can see here it is running the handler, will start HTTP. Okay, now if we go to the server, right, which server, we just get the server here, I think app server is nothing but our demo node, right? So just copy this. If I go here and just paste it here, hit enter. See, I just gave us hello Apache, right? Same thing, if you want to redeploy it, what we can do, simply the developer has to see, this is the real-time thing. The developer has to write the code and everything, and once the code is tested and everything is ready, and it will come to the production support, the DevOps, not DevOps team, the production release management team, who will be doing the release things, right? They can use this playbook, which is written by a DevOps engineer. They can just simply execute it to do the deployment, right? Now I'm going to change my code. As a developer, I'm going to change my code here. Okay, now I just quickly do some changes, then center. So my code is now ready, my product is ready. Now I want to deploy it. So it will go to the release management team to execute the playbook. Okay, so simply what they will do, they will just come here and and execute the playbook. Either you can just change the playbook, because already few things are installed. If you don't want to keep it, just comment it, or you can just leave it as it is. If you keep it as it is, it will not install if it is already install it, right? So just go ahead and check what it will do first. First it will stop the server. Okay, uh, good. So it is stopped the server, and then Apache First, so changed 3. Now if I go here, my deployment is completed successfully. See, got it, right? This is how the deployment is happen, guys. Okay, once the DevOps engineer, the Ansible, whoever is working writing the playbooks, it once it is written, okay, that can be reused multiple times by the release management team, until unless there is a change in the requirement. Same code can be reused. Okay, so is it clear, guys? Hope you understood clearly how it actually works in the real time. Okay, so if you have any doubt, we can discuss.
Yeah, Ranjit, one doubt actually.
Yes.
So, as you told, no? So if something already installed, it will not reinstall. So how will we ensure like it's not installing, reinstalling again?
Okay, so that is actually by seeing the logs, you can find it out. Okay, by
Logs.
seeing the logs, you can
Uh-huh.
find it out, right? So if you see here, when I was giving -v, right, in the verbose mode to display the logs, right, in the screen. If I give
Uh-huh.
-v here, let's check.
Yeah.
It will show you it is already installed. See, one second. So if I go here, you can see it is here already installed.
Okay.
It is already
Recording.
installed. HTTPD is already installed. Again, this is the
Install.
logs. You can find it in your playbook execution log details. Okay, that's one thing. Another thing is, even though if you don't do this one, you can see here the changed, how many tasks we have. 4 tasks. Out of 4, only one is changed. Okay, so now let's do that. Uh, okay, why it is only one change? You can see, guys, here this copy also. Okay, this copy also, there is no changes. So what happened, 1 second. Let me remove this hyphen b and I'll show you one thing. This is the log, you checked it. Okay, another way you will find it out also by seeing the below. You will see like okay, like the details, the complete details in one line it will give you. See
Okay, for
what you guys looking from this log. Can you tell me please?
For here, there is no changes in the code.
Exactly. So here changes 0, nothing is happened because it is these two are already installed. It is the server is already stopped. Okay, the server is already stopped, so it did not stop also, and there is nothing, no changes to the code, and it did not copy also. And as there is no copy and it did not notify anything, it did not notify anything, right? In our case, what happens? See, this part, it did not copy because there is no changes in this file, and as it is not executed this task, it did not notify the handler, and the handler also did not work. So nothing happened with it. If you by mistakenly also execute this, if everything is up to date, it will not work also. Okay, now
okay.
let me change something in the index file, in the our code. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Now let me save it. So let's execute it and let's see what is happening. Okay, see, two changes happened here. One thing is, because the server was already stopped, it did not stop, this task did not work. Okay, and copy Apache server, see, it is copied because there is a change. See, it says changed, and you can see it is okay, right? This, there is no changes, it is changed, and here also it is changed. It restarted the handler. In our previous run, it did not execute the handler because the notification did not trigger, right? Here it triggered the handler and the handler started the services. If I go here and refresh it, see, okay,
Yeah.
so now it's clear how you can write this playbook and you can execute it and you can use for configuration management and deployment. Okay, now what am I going to do? uh, Okay, so what we did it, we covered notify, copy, file, all these modules. These are important modules which you will use. That is what I'm showing you, and the rest of the modules you guys you can do by yourself. Okay, practice of rest of the modules. So we did for package facts, for when actually when and when conditions, and this for if is not there, we'll see it later. And this wait for, okay, wait for module, and uh, okay, register, this register and wait for module we'll see in our next classes. Also, once this is finished, we'll see one very important things is the roles and the variables, the Ansible Galaxy. Okay, this Ansible Galaxy is very important because this is very useful writing the playbooks, because it will, why we should use, because role benefits is to reuse the code. The single code can be reused for multiple roles and multiple works. Okay, so let me just go through this Ansible Galaxy, and tomorrow classes will cover this register, wait for, remember, we'll cover register, wait for, and roles and vars, and then we'll go about the secrets, which is the vault, Ansible vault. Okay, so let me just tell you what is this Ansible Galaxy. Ansible Galaxy actually is a Galaxy website where users can share roles and to a command line tool for installing, creating, and managing roles. Ansible Galaxy gives greater visibility to one of Ansible's most exciting features, such as application installation or reusable roles for server configurations. Okay, lots of people share their roles. So the Ansible Galaxy website, okay, actually it is a website by the Ansible team, by the Red Hat, by the team. They the users, the people, actually this is open source, right? Most of the resources, most of the users, most of the people, they actually create different roles and they share these roles on the Ansible Galaxy page. Okay, so let me just open the Ansible Galaxy page. It is like Ansible hyphen Galaxy, sorry, Ansible dot Galaxy dot Ansible dot com. Okay, so it is Galaxy Galaxy dot Ansible. See, you'll find lots of roles over here, and you can use this Ansible class. I'll show you how you can use it in our next classes. Okay, let me just go this Ansible Galaxy. I've not added it here. Okay, so all these roles you can find it out here for development, for packaging, for networking. Okay, so suppose for development, let's see, all these roles are there. Okay, okay. So in tomorrow classes, we'll discuss more on this on the Ansible Galaxy, and we'll see how it can be used, how we'll create our own role, and how we can execute it. Okay, we'll discuss more on that. This is the different. This is the ways of creating the Ansible roles by using Ansible Galaxy. We can create the role. I'll show you two ways how we can create roles by using Ansible Galaxy. Also, without using Ansible Galaxy, how you can create the roles. Okay, so it's up to you whether you want to use Ansible Galaxy or you can use by your custom roles. You can create your own roles and then execute it. Okay, that we'll discuss in tomorrow's class. Okay, guys. So